The day has come. On day 3,139 of the war in Iraq, President Obama announced it's over. American troops will be home by the end of the year. The war began as a hunt for weapons of mass destruction which were never found. Then the U.S. found itself in the middle of a civil war, caught between two branches of Islam. On this historic day, we have reports from David Martin and Nora O'Donnell. First, David, who's at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Good evening, Scott. Fort Bragg is the home of the 82nd Airborne, which currently has 3,500 troops in Iraq. They'll all be home for the holidays because today the president pulled the plug on negotiations that could have kept some American troops in Iraq past the end of this year.
The rest of our troops in Iraq will come home by the end of the year. After nearly 9 years, America's war in Iraq will be over.
For better or worse, the military operation, which began with shock and awe in March of 2003 and descended into the mayhem of civil war, is really going to end. Even though both Americans and Iraqis agree, there are still holes in Iraqi defenses. The U.S. had offered to keep up to 5,000 troops there to train Iraqis in air defense, intelligence, and protecting against the threat of invasion, particularly from Iran. But scarred by the abuses of Abu Ghraib prison, the killings, both accidental and deliberate, of civilians, and incidents with security contractors like the Blackwater Guards who gunned down people in a public square, Iraqi politicians refused to grant American troops immunity from prosecution under local laws. Immunity is a standard agreement wherever U.S. forces are deployed. That was the deal breaker, and it now means the 39,000 troops still in Iraq, down from a high of 170,000, will all be out by December 31st.
Today, I can say that our troops in Iraq will definitely be home for the holidays.
The Bush administration had originally agreed to the December 31st withdrawal date, but the assumption had always been that a new agreement would keep a smaller number of troops in Iraq for several more years. Now, the only troops who will remain are a couple hundred assigned to the embassy in Baghdad to administer the sale of U.S. military equipment. Getting out will probably make for good politics in both countries. The question is, will it make for good strategy? Scott?
David, this leaves Iran on Iraq's doorstep with no U.S. troops there. How is Iraq going to defend itself?
Well, one U.S. military official said, "We'll find a way." And he specifically mentioned sending civilian contractors to Iraq to do the training, bringing Iraqis to the United States to train, and even sending U.S. troops back into Iraq to conduct exercises.
David, thanks very much.